Hello guys, this is Jaya for the session of digitalization. So today we're going to discuss about what is the importance, what is the impact and how the QR code helps in digitalization plus with an interesting case study while using the QR codes. So my first slides comprises of a scenario where there are two friends in the name of Bob and David. In this case, Bob is earning less and David is earning more. So we need to find out what is the reason behind why there is a difference between the earning. So when we look about the case for a Bob, he is earning less because he is using a traditional way of work. So how's the traditional way of work is like he's taking all the physical papers, he's taking all the approval in a physical manner, he's booking the accommodation. It is taking a lot of time where the customers are really not happy with the service because it is getting delayed day by day and it is taking a lot of time to complete the services of the customer. That's the reason he is just struggling to run his business. But on the other hand, when we see about David, he is flourishing his business more and more. But how he is doing in a digitalization way, where whenever he has to take any approvals or any requests or an accommodation or even in a visa passport service, these all things he is doing in a digitalization manner. So this is how it is a less time consumption and the customers are really happy with the service. So that is the reason the customer is coming back again and again for more and more business, more and more service from him. So that's the reason his business is flourishing and he is getting more and more money. But whereas Bob is just struggling because he has just applied the traditional way of doing the things. So here we understood what is the problem between these two people, why the person is earning less and why the other person is earning more. But now we will understand what is the difference behind these two methods when we are ruling in a business model. So what will be the first difference? In a traditional way, it's a lot of time consumption, a lot of manpower is used, a very high costing, very slow processing, and the risk of errors is very, very high. Whatever you do in a traditional way, in a physical manner, you will have those errors and you can't have that opportunity to rectify it. But when we see in a digitalization method, it has like less time consumption, less manpower is used, faster processing, and the risk of error is very low. Why it is you think it is very low? Because we have that advantage, or we can say that is, we have a tool that we can rectify all those things in a digitalization method. But do we have these advantages in traditional method? I don't think so it would have, because if a simple document, if the person loses, you can't get, and then you have to draft the entire document again. But in such a way, if in a digitalization, if any simple document is lost, we can get it through online platform. So this is how the difference make between these two methods when we are running an online business platform. So this is, we come to know what is the difference. So now we'll come to the next slide, that is what is digitalization. So when we talk about digitalization, so digitalization comprises of technology, data, process, and organizational change. So when we come about technology, whatever we work on a website or an app, the main thing behind it is the technology. If we have a good technology, we can see each and everything in a digitalization manner. Even we can run the business through, because it has the interface, it has a friendly look, each and everything which attracts the consumer, even when you are using the app. Secondly comes around when we talk about data. So in a digitalization manner, when we are running a business over there, so this is a tool where you can compile all the data. You can save that data for yourself whenever you want to compare for your brands, for your company, for anything. At least you have that data on your site and you can just compare it. So this is how the data also play a vital role when we talk about the digitalization. Third comes the process. The process is an automated process is there, which is the main ingredient when there is a complex business activities are going or a complex business process is there. It makes it easier, this complex business activities, to a smoother way so that we can run the business in a more easiest way rather than struggling to it. So these are the things which make the digitalization more powerful and have a very good impact on a business model. So then when we talk about what is the importance of digitalization. So when we talk about the digitalization, something comes in our mind. My first point would be the errors. If I talk about the errors, everybody has when we are even simple, if we are drafting a resume or any proposal or anything. So when we are doing it in a traditional manner, there are a lot of errors, whether the spelling is wrong or the sentence is not correct. But in the same way, when we do it in an online platform, we have that advantages or we have that tools to correct those sentences, we correct those spellings and make a very clear draft for whatever we required. In a simple way also when we go for a booking of a ticket or something, so when we go on a traditional way, book the ticket and after that we realize when you come home and we realize that the date is to be different, then again you have to go back to the other way and just have to rechange the ticket, you have to stand in the queue itself. But when you are doing it online, you have those facility to get it changed. You have those live chats. You have many other tools to rectify your bookings. This is how the digitalization plays a very important role when you are dealing in an online business, whether you are have launched the app or the website. So if these things are implemented on those sites or the app, it makes it easier for both the consumers as well as the business persons. A second would be the customer retention. You all know everybody when runs a business on an online platform, everybody wants a consumer for its business. But when we are doing in a traditional way of thing, it is really very difficult to grab the consumers for their product. The attention is the most, which is you can't grab it traditional way. But when you are doing in a physical way, in a digitalization way, you can just promote your brand in a social media pages or whenever we are searching for anything, the advertisement can be pop up on that particular time. So this is how it grabs the attention of the consumer. Secondly, when they have stuck in your website, when they are planning to purchase something from your website, and if they are stuck in your app or a website, if they get a good assistance from your representative, they will be very happy. If I put my example, I really will be happy if I get a good assistance and if I get a good resolution for my complaint, query, or feedback, whatever it is. So, this is a mind, or you can tell about this is a real uh, role which helps to capture the consumers for your business. So, when you help those consumers, so it becomes really difficult. It is becomes easy to retain them because when they are happy, they can just recommend your service to other people, to other colleagues. That is the most important thing you want. Means if you are going it from the social media, but if the consumers are recommending your website or an app to other people, that is more very important because the other people will come to know instantly by the consumers. So this is how the second part would be much important when you are retaining those consumers by helping them, by assisting them, or by solving their queries instantly. Third, would I suggest that the securing of the docs, whatever the documents are there that is related to your data, that is related to your proposals or anything, it is really secured on an online platform. But when you talking about in a traditional way, it is really difficult to have because that is a pile of papers which you are having it with you. But these pile of papers are kept if in an online platform it becomes really secure and if there is any disaster or if your system has been crashed but still you have that advantages to and retrieve those data from the online platform. That becomes really easy for you to get those documents. So, securing of the docs, customer retention, and the risk of the errors, they are the three important tools. If they are really in place, you can flourish your business any which ways in a digitalization method. So now we come to the examples of digitalization. So when we talk about a digitalization, you all heard about many things, whether in a banking purpose or whether if anything, if you're buying any product or simpler card for like a credit card or anything. So if you're even getting a connection for a Wi-Fi. So they give you a form to fill up and you can do it online. You have a digital signature that simply goes for the credit card also. So these things are come online where you can just type it and give your digital signature and that will get the processing for like 2 to 3 days and you'll get that product in a like 7 to 10 days. But when you take a look about a traditional way, it almost take like 15 to 20 days of processing and after that you get that product and you don't know whether it will be delivered at your doorstep or not. But in this scenario, if the product is delivered at your doorstep, you will be happy. I'll be also happy because if the product is coming to my doorstep and I don't have to go anywhere, that is a one point which is really, really impressive in that point of view that I don't have to waste my time. I don't have to wait for any queue. I can just have my product or have my service delivered at my doorstep. But in a traditional way, this is not possible because it is really hard. It's really tough in doing the processing work because maybe there will be the errors, there will be the loss of documents, many things will be there when you're doing a traditional way of things. Then we'll come to the slide of the advantages of the digitalization. So when we talk about the advantages of digitalization, so what comes in your mind that is a cost saving, time saving, uh, then easy distribution, accuracy, then comes the increase in profits. But when we talk about the easy distribution, how would you define that easy distribution? That I have been explained in the earlier side when you want to give an information about your brand or about your product or about anything and you can just drop those posts on your social media pages so that the person can grab that information from there. So that is why it is really easy distribution. Even if you're in your office and you want to deliver some information to like 5 to 10 people, you can just drop an email and they will get that information. But can you see it, that if I do it in a physical manner, it's really very difficult. First we have to look for the person if he's available or not, or if he's gone somewhere. So you have to have that time. You're wasting that time to deliver that information. This is how the traditional way is really tougher when you are doing a business. But in a digitalization method, these things count because when it saves your time, it's a cost saving. Then you have a accuracy over there, then easy distribution, all the documents are secured. You can retrieve it, you can rectify it, you can do anything with the documentations. Plus, it increased the profits when you help the consumers with their queries, with your complaints, and it makes the customer's life easy. Because if I go to a website and if I don't get that assistance, I'll be also angry and I will not recommend that channel or a website to anybody. But if you see that if I'm getting help, if I'm getting that assistance very good, I'm getting the solution for my complaint, that becomes a really easy for other people to go through it. And it can get the recommendation because that is the main point. If you're recommending some app, it has some value, it has some worth because the consumer is recommending. We are doing that promotion is a one thing, but when the consumer is recommending your website or a app, it makes a value, it's a worth it because then the other person have that trust component that okay, this person has bought the or purchases products from this particular website, why should I not do it? Why should I not get that particular deal? So this comes into the mind of consumer, and that trust component comes to that, where you can just gain that confidence or a trust from that consumer. So this is how a digitalization plays a really important way when you are trying to increase your profit to make your business flourish. So for me, digitalization has a very good impact in today's world, because if this is not today, you can't flourish anything, because in a traditional way it's really tough to run a business. So this is how the advantages we learn about what is digitalization, what is the importance, what are the advantages, and what are the difference with the scenario, which makes a conclusion that digitalization have a powerful impact in our online business model, and which is really really very important if you if you give this tool in your business module. And this tool is really important, and it is very very innovative when you are doing your business on an online platform. Now last we conclude with a case study, and that is a very interesting, which I have come with the topic. But first, I'll just give my intro. That is, I'm representing the company Uxliving Lab, which is a market research consultant. And we use to do the market research for the consumers or the company if they want any results or any customer insights or any reports regarding their brand or regarding their product or their company. So we can do the research analysis. We can give the reports on a weekly basis. We have the login ID so that you can go through it and uh, log in it and get your reports. That's what we do. And even we can get you the customer insight, customer experience for your product or a brand, that makes your life a little bit easy, because when you're running the business you need all these things, where your product is standing, what is the feedback for your product. So these things everybody needs it when you are running in a online business platform. So that's we do. So I'll be sharing uh, this. We all work through a QR code, and the most important thing when you want to interact with us, with us only with a QR code. So if you want to go to the website, you can just give your credential, like your name and the email ID, and you just create a QR code. Or if you want to download from the app, that also I'll be sharing with you. And if you want appointment to be fixed to get to know about the company or about the products or about information about anything, even for the pricing, you can just connect with me with that calendar link which I'll be providing. That would be much easier to connect with us. So this is what our company does with a simple QR code, and you all know the QR code is really, really very easy, very captive, and it makes your life very easy when you scan it. You don't have to stand for any queues. You can just scan it and do your payment or do whatever the service you required. So this is actually the very powerful QR code while you are running a business. You can implement it in your business, which is really, really important nowadays, while you are using in a packaging or while you are using for any other service which the consumer requires. So that's why the QR code is really very important. So now we will be discussing about the QR code with the study which I wanted to um, tell you about this. So I know everybody travels through trains, local trains, subways. Everybody travels through trains. Everybody loves that journey also. But do you understand what is the difficult part in booking the tickets? I think everybody knows it. Uh, but when I talk about these things, I have experience where when you book a ticket, you have to stand in a queue. That is a default thing which you all know. But when you go for a ticket, there are certain things like a tatkal where where is a limited time frame you can book that ticket and you get your reserved ticket and everything, and your vendor will choose the seat numbers and everything wherever he's getting that ticket to be booked. So these things are have become a very difficult task when you go for a booking of a ticket. But this has been, if I talk about for airlines, it becomes easy because while scanning a QR code, you can book a ticket. But in a train ticket, it was not there earlier. Now it has been introduced where it becomes easier for the consumer to book an e-ticket. So this is how when we scan it. So this is a QR code we have created for like booking of a QR code for a e-ticket. So when we do a QR code, what is the QR code helps in an e-ticket when it has been printed on a, because it's a very simple image. You don't know anything about this image. It's just an image. But when you do it, when you create that QR code for an e-ticket, it has a lot of things into this simple image, like the information of the consumers. It have the information of the seat. It has the information about the PNR status. It has the information about from where to where you're traveling. So this is a simple image, but it having a lot of information in this particular image. So when we are talking about an uh, QR code and e-ticket, it becomes really easy. You don't have to stand in a queue to do it. So what is the next procedure when you get this QR code? So in our thing, it is very simple. When we scan this QR code, this comes, this is a this is the app of UTS, which deals with the Indian Railway. So when you scan that QR code, this page pops up, and then you can just get a login and you just uh, do the credential part, and then you'll get that e-ticket. So I think that would be much easier where you don't have to go here and there. You can just scan that QR code, you enter the gates, you can enter the train. So that becomes easy. You don't have to stand in the counters to get your ticket. You can just select the seat, whatever you want. So this is how the e-ticket helps in a business. This is how whoever is having that ticket business, e-ticketing business, this is the really most interesting because your business can be flourished through this because every person nowadays look for an online options. Even I also look. So uh, I would suggest that whoever doing the business of a ticketing, they can apply this. This is actually the app from the India because we use this app on Northern and Southern Railway, and this has been introduced by Southern Railways a few years back. So when we do this scanning, we can get through the gate and we can get through the platform where we have to board the train. So this is how the app works in India, and this app can be anywhere outside the India also. So that is the main thing. So I would suggest you that you just apply, you just get this code. Um, you just try to create the QR code for your consumer. Consumers will be really happy when they have that in mind that they have to give all the details while booking a ticket. But when you scan it, every detail is there. You don't have to type a website. You don't have to go anywhere here and there. You just scan it, get the app, do the login, and you'll get your e-ticket. And this e-ticket, you can when you board the train, you can show it. You don't have to carry the physical paper with you. So from that QR code, the even the ticket collector or the conductor, which you say, can verify your authenticity for the ticket and your details. So this is what I can say example of a time saving. Everybody wants their time to be saved in such a manner that they don't waste it. So when you are planning for a journey or something, so this would be a cool thing to do it. And it becomes really easy for the consumer because each and everything is in the QR code and you need not to type anything on it. So there are different apps are also working around in the Play Store, but there are some apps where it is really authentic. And these apps, not in India but in abroad, they are also having those apps to book an e-ticket. And e-tickets are really now very easy. You can sit at home and you can just book the e-ticket. So this is what you don't ha- that pain of typing the website is not there to get those details engraved in those website, but you can do it through a one app and one QR code. So for me, it's a really trendy and a cool way to attract the consumers to get more and more business through this. And if you're into this particular business, please try to apply it, because this will give you good and good results, which I hope so. It's a really uh, good for you, because you can understand nowadays no people wants to waste the time in a traditional way. They always try to get an instant solution for their queries, for their service. So that's what I would suggest. It would be really easy when you are talking about a QR code. And QR code helps in many other ways. And this is the one of the way which I'm talking about the case study. It's about the e-ticket, and it has a powerful impact on your business module also. So whether you having a payment part or whether you are booking the ticket, these things also apply through a QR code. So I would recommend to please apply this in your business, so it will have a difference. And if you still want some opinion or some advice from us, we are ready to help you out. I'll be sharing all the details on the inbox on the comment section, so that you can just see it and let me know if you have any problem. And if you're very happy with the session, just like it and comment it. And if you want any information regarding it, I will be happy to offer you. So this is what is the case study about. So today's session was for the digitalization and with the case study of e-ticket. Thank you for joining us.